What the fuck is this? Looks like a hobbit trail or something. Let's follow it, hey? Huh? Yeah? Definitely leads to somewhere. Oh. Gee. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, I'd say. What's over here? What's over this way? Nice little spot. Hey. The fuck do we have here? Must be time for second breakfast. Yeah. Well. G'day. Let me just bring you up a touch, I think. Hopefully that's good. Sorry for the, well, I hope you don't mind the muck around. I know if you saw my videos, well, a couple previously, I did a Happy Homebrew Wednesday where we sat down by, it's actually quite a small tributary that flows into my creek, but it's got a little waterfall. I lost a little bit of footage when I did it somehow, so you only saw a fraction of it. Didn't think I did it justice, and I know I get lots of comments, and thank you very much for telling me, you know, commenting about our farm and where we live and how beautiful it is, and yeah, thanks. I appreciate it, and I really do appreciate where we live. Really lucky. Live in a place called the Sunshine Coast, and most of the time it lives up to itself. You know, it's a beautiful property, and I feel blessed to live here. So, but I thought we've got about I don't know, kilometre or more of creek line. So there's a few spots that I like to just come and chill, normally without the camera, and just enjoy a beer, homebrew or otherwise. But just sit and contemplate life, I think, like I said previously. So I thought I'd come down to another one of my favourite spots, and maybe over time we'll gradually work our way down the creek, and you might get a little taste of at least what it feels like to sit here. So this is a big rocky outcrop, I guess, small rocky outcrop in the creek. This creek is actually called Rocky Creek. I put a lot of thought into that one, but this is a really nice spot. In summer, this is like at least 5 degrees, if not more, cooler down in here with all the trees over it, and it's a really lovely little place to sit and chill. So, but I better not blabber too much, because I've actually got some footage for you afterwards, some brewing footage. It is only kit and kilo, but at least it was an interesting experiment. Okay, so won't go into too much. I think the best way to do it is to go and watch the footage. It'll explain what it is. If you hang in there, or if you want to fast forward, at the end I'll give you a tasting and tell you at least how it turned out, and we'll go from there. So if you haven't got much time and you want to go and check that out, go and do that. Fast forward, I don't know, a couple of minutes, because I'm going to blabber on just for a second longer. I said I was going to go off to the vineyards and do some exploring out there, and we did, and we had a great weekend. I got away with my wedding anniversary. That afternoon I shot the video, I slipped out, and 15 years apparently is crystal, so I got some beautiful champagne glasses, and nailed it. It was great. It's like, didn't know that I'd even... There was no hint of me forgetting anyway, let's say that. And if you don't tell her, I don't think she'll know. She won't watch these videos. She's not into beer, really. Champagne, which crystal, champagne, nailed it. So then we had a great weekend, beautiful weekend, but out there where the vineyards were, we had access, but I just turned the phone off and we just enjoyed the weekend. Did some tastings. Ironically enough, on a whole full day of wine tasting, we ended up at a brewery, quite a small microbrewery. It was called Brass Monkey Brewing, out at Stanthorpe, if there's any Aussies here around. Never heard of it before, but ironically, the first night we arrived in the pub, they said they had 3 beers. They had a brown ale, a stout, and a Belgian triple, of all things, at the bar. So I tried all three. Brown ale was so-so, stout was not bad, and the triple was pretty tasty. I didn't even take any footage of it, but I got a little bit of a kick because I took an extra bottle of the stout back home with the friends that I was with, and I gave them a tasting test of 2 stouts. Brass Monkey Brewing Stout and Blue Shed Brewing Stout. Not a quite match. Mine was a milk stout, and I think his was really just a bog standard stout. About the same ABV though, around the 5% mark. And out of the unofficial beer tasters that I had, Blue Shed Brewing was the preferred stout, so I got a kick out of it. And then ironically we ended up there, it wasn't really planned, but the last stop of the day on our wine tour the next day was at Brass Monkey Brewing. So shout out to those blokes anyway, they did a really great job. They've got such a simple setup out there. It was just in a shed, and kind of wish I had taken some footage of it, but it wasn't really planned. And they were just, they were getting run off their feet. A really interesting thing. A lot of people that were obviously want to go wine tasting were definitely up for, I guess, a change of taste, a change of scenery, and the place was packed. And these guys just couldn't handle it. They were swamped. They were literally about to run out of beer. I felt sorry for them. They had run out of some of their beers on tap, and they were literally just cracking bottles madly and pouring them out to keep this stuff going. We left just before they ran out of beer. I kind of felt bad. I needed to get out there. I didn't want to see these guys doing such a great job and getting such a good impression. Really, I mean, that people were loving their beers in a way. And then I didn't want to see them say, "Oh, sorry, we've run out of beer." That would have been a shame. But I guess it's a good thing. Hey, look, there could be worse things. People could be turning away, and you'd end up with gallons of it left over because no one wants to drink it because it tastes like shit. So I guess, hey, if you sell out, that's probably actually not a bad thing. So anyway, that's what happened there. What I really wanted to get to was when I came back into range, and when I sort of came back from that weekend, I turned my phone on, and bang, 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 I started just getting so many messages about new subscribers, and I said to my wife, I think someone's giving me a shout out, I think, here, because I've just got smashed with new people looking at my subscribing to my channel. Okay? And it's happened once before. Thank you, Chatham Brewing, and thank you, Drunken One. You both gave me a shout out, and it was really, it's a really nice feeling. I tell you, it's flattering to get a shout out from someone to say they like your channel. Yeah. But this time I wasn't sure. It took me a little while to figure out who it was. But Mr. Tony Yates, thank you very much. Very informative channel, sir. You've actually taught me, well, quite a few tips actually from there, and you're so professional. I feel like a bit of an Aussie lout sometimes with my videos compared to the respected gentleman that Tony Yates is, and his videos, and he's obviously been doing it for a far longer, and with 5,000 subscriptions or something near that. You know, I'm sure lots of people follow his channel, but I was really chuffed to get a shout out from him from all the way on the other side of the world, which is what makes this online community really cool. You know, having chats with blokes and women all around the world, all with the common interest of trying to brew some tasty beer. Anyway, thank you, Tony. I hope if I can keep my channel status up to anywhere near his, that I'll get to do the same and return the favor, and I think everyone should. If you haven't felt the impact of someone giving you a shout out and this sudden burst of encouragement that you get with all these people subscribing, but you like a channel, you watch a channel that you really like, it takes nothing to chuck out and just say at the start or the end of a video, somewhere in there, say, hey, really like that channel, you should go and watch them. So ironically, I'm not going to do that in this one. I need to think about it again and contemplate that and keep that in mind myself, and come up with some shout outs that are out there. So anyway, let's get on to it. Yeah, back to the tasting. What I'm going to show you is a bit of footage after this is about a little experiment I did. Really, the experiment was about, well, you could brew a kit, a can, kit and kilo kit that was probably 8 years old. You'll see in the footage, I'm not totally sure, but it really looked like, to me, the last scratched off date was around 08. So got this when I bought some other stuff, brewed it. I did try the beer on beer experiment again because I cocked it up last time. Definitely worked this time again, so I was glad that was a good result, because I'm sure it wasn't the technique, it was just something I did. So I thought I'd trial this with this dodgy can that I had, chuck it on some old lager yeast, and away we went. I don't want to talk too much because the footage is in there after. Go and watch it now, and I'll see you at the end and tell you how the beer turned out. Good luck, hang in there, see you there. See you soon.
On.
Okay, so I don't really need any more fermenters and bits and pieces, but I always keep my eye out on our gum tree, it's called Australia. It's a bit like Craigslist or something like that, eBay, just to see what comes up for home brewing gear. And sure enough, I saw just around the corner from me, someone had advertised a fermenter and some other bits and pieces for 20 bucks. And I thought, I may as well just drop by and grab it. Now the other bits and pieces is kind of what cracked me up. A brand new, like it's a sweet bottle capper. Not that I bottle that much, but my other one was all a bit rusty and stuff, so got another bottle capper. The fermenter itself, you know, would be, I don't know, you pay 50 or 60 bucks for those over here. But the laugh that I got was, there was an ancient kit, an ancient can, Tooheys Lager. Now, Australians, maybe Kiwis, all know Tooheys. It's this, you know, pig swill, bloody giant brand over here. I don't really like Tooheys, but it's cracking me up a little bit that I got this can in here. I had a look, on the bottom is the best before date. To try and, like, it looks a little bit rusty around the edge, it's definitely a bit old. And on the bottom of the can, now I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it says best before, and then the actual date has been has worn off, so I can't see. It's a teaser. There is an 08 on the end, and I'm not sure if that is the year, like best before 08. I'm not sure if that was some other sort of serial number that was on there. But the bottom is even kind of even kind of blown out a little bit. Now, if this was fruit or something, I'd be thinking, yeah, that might be cactus. But I don't know. Liquid malt, can it go off? I mean, that was obviously all boiled and everything beforehand. So what I'm thinking for a laugh is I'm going to chuck it in. I'm going to do a kit. Now, this definitely won't be real lager yeast that's in there. So I'm going to give the fermenter a bit of a clean and a sterilise. I'm going to actually, no, I won't use that. I'll tell you why. I just today racked another a true lager that I've made using Sapphire S23 lager yeast. So I want to do, I'm going to try the beer on beer experiment again, using this sucker, this dodgy can. Obviously use the S23 yeast that's left over from the true lager yeast that I just kegged today. I'm going to just follow it. It's a true dodgy kit and kilo, with just a kilo of Cooper's Brew Enhancer 2. I got all this other crap for free. I even got some, you know, some carbonation drops and some bottle caps, and so it's, you know, really all it's costing me is $6 or $7 for the brewing sugars. Chuck it in and try the S23 yeast, and we'll see how it goes. So I'll show you a bit of footage in a minute of how we're going with it.
Dad,
cheers.
Tell her that. Tell them
if you haven't worked out, I have no idea how this camera is looking. I've got a couple of filming assistants today. So my son, who's 5, he's filming me, and this is obviously my daughter, little 2-year-old that just woke up, so she's starring in the show. All right, see you soon. So here we are, beer on beer attempt Mark II, just for you, Tiny. What you probably saw is earlier I had I've just racked a lager. So what I'm going to show you now. Ooh, that's what's left. I just did my lagers in a straight, just primary fermentation. So everything that's left there, side gunk, bottom gunk, that's everything. I mean, lager should be a bottom fermenting yeast anyway. So I'm doing this dodgy, swollen, messed up Tooheys Lager can. 23 litre batch. So I'm just going to do a 19 litre batch. So what I'm going to do now is just to stir up that cake at the bottom. I'm going to add 5 litres of cold water. I've got 15 litres on the boil, which I'm going to add the dodgy can to. And then I'm going to add kilo. It's a true kit and kilo brew. Who knows what's going to happen with this. At best it's 2008, so it's vintage wort concentrate. Who knows? I might be tipping it out in the garden, in the beer garden. We'll see. Here goes nothing. So I'm just using that water to mix up the cake, because she was pretty well settled in the bottom. I don't know about that. I think I need a toilet brush, really. Christ. Who knows? Finally got the lid off. That yeast, it feels like it's 10 years old. Not going to even try and use that. You know, the interesting thing is, if anyone knows Tooheys, I've always associated it as a New South Wales, Queensland, like New South Wales, Australian beer. So from the state of New South Wales. Interestingly, on the back, where is it? Focus camera. Can you see that? Yeah. Anyway, it says manufactured in New Zealand. Bloody Kiwis. Sending us over their dodgy pig swill garbage. Anyway, I'm making it. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll send some to Dino. This is kind of like payback. Send you back a kit that was made of 10-year-old shit from New Zealand. Cheers. That was a first. When I actually opened the tin, I got a rush of air, like a psh, like when you crack a beer. That's not supposed to happen coming out of this. But a bit nervous. Tastes like normal wort. Tastes like malt. Nothing off that I can taste there. We'll see what happens. Well, it's progressing. It's been just over 3 weeks now since I made up the kit. if you watch one of my earlier videos, you know I had a bit of a failure with the beer on beer style, just racking it, putting a brand new beer straight on the top of on its previously used yeast. But I was certain that it was something I did, not the technique. So anyway, did it again. This time, sweet. So she's just over 3 weeks. So I think about 3 or 4 days ago, I did rack it to secondary, and then I added some gelatin to it. So quite a dark lager, because this was very straightforward kit, like Tooheys. I never use them, and I don't know if many people outside of Australia would even see Tooheys kits, other than maybe Kiwis. I don't know, if you do, I'd be interested to know. It's pretty funny. It's pretty shit beer. Oh, not the Tooheys Old, sorry, I take that back. Tooheys Old is nice. But anyway, so I'm now going to keg it. Interestingly, the gelatin didn't clarify it as much as I thought. I mean, it's been cold crashed now. It's down at 2 degrees for the last 3 or 4 days, so might clarify up a little bit more in the keg, I guess. Almost want to say it's got a smokiness to it. Very slight bitterness. I didn't add any extra hops or anything like that, because it was a bit of an experiment with this old kit that I had. Not sure. Anyway, let's see what a little bit of age does. Right. So after all that, how did the beer taste? I'm trying not to swear too much today, because I've got some footage on Friday. If you're still hanging in there, wait till Friday. I might excite you, or I really might disappoint you with my antics. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it just yet. But definitely proves that I'm quite good at swearing. I'm trying not to do that today and behave myself, and prove to you also that I can have a normal, good conversation without lots of F-bombs dropped every second word. Anyway, so the beer lightened up a little bit at the end, but still quite a dark beer. Now it is a little tricky to do this, because I did to do this tasting review of it, I guess, because I've never done a Tooheys kit before, so I don't know a base to start the comparison from. If I was brewing it all the time, then I could say, hey, okay, this is the new kit versus the old kit. Could do that in the future, but I don't really like the Tooheys. As I said plenty of times, I don't really like Tooheys. It's not one of my favourite beers, and so I don't know if I want to do that. We'll see. So I'm just going to review it for as it is, and I've got 19 litres of this shit, so I've got to, maybe it'll grow on me, and then maybe I'll do another one, and maybe it won't taste as good, and I'll have to age another can for 8 years. But so what I get from this though is it's a very strong malted flavour with kick of bitterness at the end, at the back of the palate. But the malt is what is unusual with it. It's and I don't know if it's from the aged can or just from the Tooheys kit in particular. I said previously when I did that first tasting of it, it's a smokiness to it, and it kind of is a smokiness to it. It's got an aged taste to it, almost similar to a flavour that you get from a fortified wine, from a port or a muscat. Since I'm fresh back from wine tours and wine tasting, those flavours are in my mind, and that's what this is. A really rich, something that you could almost taste, that maybe some brandy, could brandy be in there? So I was going to suggest it's something, when I drink this, it's like a beautiful rich chocolate, a rich Christmas cake. Scrap the chocolate, a rich Christmas cake. This is what you could almost tip into the cake mix and make a delicious Christmas cake with it. It's not at all what I expected from a Tooheys Lager Kit, to be honest. So maybe 8 years in the can has changed that wort concentrate, or whatever you want to call that syrup. I guess my score of that stuff, from this can at least, I don't know. It's I don't think I would brew another one. I like malty beers with some bitterness at the back. I actually do like them, but this has just got a little too much, yeah, it's not sweet, but overpowering maltiness to it, which the more I taste, the more I think could be from the aged, has it fermented in some way. The can popped, and I'm wondering where that gas came from. So maybe not fermented, but yeah, maybe fermented, but with some other impure bacteria in there, just subtly, because it's definitely not off. I don't think there's any off flavors in this. It's just that the flavors I'm tasting are some intenseness that I don't normally get. Anyway, if you've brewed a Tooheys can, I don't know if anyone out there would have, but tell me what you thought. I'd really be curious to see if it was also quite a dark beer, if it was very malty. I mean, remember this was done with the S23 dry yeast, not the Tooheys Kit shit. That was just like powder in the packet. I could feel it. Would have been pointless chucking that in. So anyway, but I'll tell you what. Look, I guess the experiment is. I don't think the can was off. I think you can definitely use that to make beer. Maybe I also short brewed this as well, so don't forget I did this to 19 litres, not the 23. So maybe that's where I'm getting a bit more of the intense flavours to it. 4 litres shorter. Maybe if I diluted it back to the 23 litre, it would have been just a little bit lighter on the intensity of the maltness that was there. The point is, an 8-year-old can with some fresh, cheap ass sugars and some fresh yeast made a drinkable beer. It's possible. The can wasn't cactus, I don't think. No. A long-winded way to get there, but it was not quite a grain of glass, a can of glass at least, you know. 8 years ago that can was canned. Now we turned into beer. I'm gonna drink 19 litres of it. It's not bad. Maybe I could get used to it. Anyway, thanks for watching. As I said before, if you're brave, stay tuned for Friday. Definitely got an effort Friday that I filmed last week, so it's ready to go. Let's see what you think. Just for shits and giggles and for honesty, I'm going to throw it out there, and you're going to see it. Alright, happy Homebrew Wednesday. Thanks again for all your support. It's really encouraging, and I'll try to keep pumping out the videos. Look at that creek. I'm hoping the camera does it justice. It's just beautiful here. Really fucking beautiful. Cheers.